morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to our online class. Today we are going to be talking about continuous writing. Our topic for today is continuous writing. Now, when we are talking about continuous writing, I want you to know this has to do with all sorts of writing in English language. Number one is letter writing. And we know that letter writing is divided into three types. The types of letter writings that we have formal letter, we have semi-formal letter, and we also have informal. Now, number two, essay writing. And essay are different types of essay writing. We have argumentative essay, we have narrative essay, we have descriptive essay, lastly we have expository essay. Now I'm going to explain all these. Yes, I was saying there are different types of continuous writing. We have letter writing, we have essay writing, we have speech writing, we have debates, we have article writing. All these five writing are all regarded as continuous writing. Number one, letter writing are of three types. Formal letter. A formal letter is a letter you write to an organization, while a semi-formal letter is a letter you write to an organization that you don't know, but you have probably someone like the principal of a school as your mom. So there's a little bit of casuality or informality in that sense. So there is a way you write that kind of a letter. Then the last one is the informal letter. These are letters you write to your friends, your families, your parents, and your relatives. I'm going to show you how you write all these letters. Now, the second one of our continuous writing is called essay writing. We have argumentative essay. These are essays that actually support a particular course in writing. Now, in this essay, you are not required to greet. You are not required to write elaborate greetings. You go straight to the point. As time goes on, I will be outlining how to write all this. We also have another type of essay is narrative essay. The narrative essay is an essay that actually tells a story. You are narrating a story about an event that happened in the past. So the way you write a narrative essay is quite different from the way you write argumentative essay. Argumentative essay is more of you are supporting a particular cause or you are against a particular cause. Now, another type of essay writing is descriptive essay. Descriptive essay is a kind of essay that describes a person, a place, an animal, or something. Describing, not telling a story. You can describe me from head to toe, put it into writing. That's an essay. That's a good example. Now, the third type of essay is expository essay. This is an essay that is usually regarded as a theory kind of essay. What do I mean by theory? You can tell me how a DVD works. That's an expository essay. You can tell me where you eat and how you excrete, how you digest food. Food comes into your mouth, it goes through your esophagus, goes straight down to your stomach, to your intestine, from the small to the big, and then how it goes out from your anus. How it works, how your digestive system works. It's regarded as expository essay. It is a theory. Now, another type of continuous writing is speech writing. Now, in speech writing, you talk, you greet. First of all, honorable ministers and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking or I am here, but all these kind of writing must have what is common, which is a topic. Must have a topic. Essay must have a topic. Speech writing must have a topic. Debate must have a topic. Article must have a topic. Now, I'm going to give you something that I call an outline. It has worked for me very, very well while I was in school, and it has worked for the students I taught, and they came out in flying colors. Now, it's my own outline. I call it outline. In this outline, I tell students, before you start writing any of this continuous writing, draft out your outline. Paragraph 1. Have it in mind that in paragraph 1 is usually an introduction. Now this introduction is a general term. It covers for letter writing, for essay writing, for speech, debate, article. It covers for it. All types. Introduction. Usually we know that introduction has to do with what? Greetings, reasons, and purpose of writing. That's our paragraph 1. Now, if you want to use this in our letter writing, be it formal letter writing, you don't greet in the first paragraph if it's a formal letter writing. You go straight to the point by telling the reason why you are writing a letter. The same thing with the semi-formal. But in the informal, you greet in the first paragraph. I'm going to show you a good example of how to write informal and formal letter. Now, immediately you're done with that, my outline says that I should have paragraph 2. I can have paragraph 2 and 3. What's my paragraph 2 and 3? I call this the main body. Now, in the main body, it contains what? Description and details of your letter writing or whatever you're writing. Description and details of your writing. And then the last paragraph, let's say paragraph 4 now, is your conclusion. What do we have in our conclusion? Usually is a summary of what you have been writing, and then a little bit of greetings if it is an informal letter. Now, this outline, I will show you how this outline works for all these letters. The first one, letter writing. Formal letter, when I start my first paragraph, I will include introduction in the first paragraph. And introduction in the first paragraph, because it's a formal letter, you're writing to an organization that you do not know, you are not required to start greeting anybody. You go straight to the point. Reason why you are writing the letter. You are still in formal letter. The second paragraph, which is the details. Talk about yourself. Let them know who you are. Details. What do you have? Are you applying for a job? What is your qualification? It's going to be in the second paragraph and third paragraph. And then the last paragraph is your conclusion. You now summarize all that you have been writing in one sentence. You don't need to greet in a formal letter. Then, let's go to informal letter quickly. Informal letter, you greet. Hey, what's up? How you doing? First paragraph. Reason I'm writing. The reason I'm writing this letter is to tell you that I miss you. The reason I'm writing this letter is to tell you I want to meet you. That is an informal letter. A letter you write to someone you know, someone you have met before, or someone in your family, like a relative. Details, conclusion, but when you're summarizing this time around, it must have a greeting. Are we good? Now, in the essay part, these 4, they must, before you start, it must have a title. The title simply means whatever you're writing, you must have it like, I argumentative essay. Day schools are better than boarding school. Either you are for or you are against, it must have a title. If you are against, that means boarding school is better than day school. Then it must have a title. And then you're going to start a paragraph. Let's take for instance, this is my little notebook. In my notebook, I have my note like this. This is the middle point. This is the margin of my notes. You're not going to start writing in the margin. This is the note. I put my address. If it's a formal letter, if it's an informal letter, I put my address and then I put my date. I give a space, one line space. I go to the next line. Dear sir, dear ma, dear friend, dear Alabi, dear Tunji, dear Adesua, and so on and so forth. You start to greet, the same more details. Now, this is my note. I want to write an essay. I write my title, blah 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 blah. I underline it. The first paragraph, I give a space. I write. Second paragraph, I give a space. This is how to write a paragraph. And then lastly is what a summary. In continuation of our continuous writing, I want to pick the first one, which is called the informal letter. To write an informal letter, your address on this side. Now you can write your address in two types. It can be in block, straight line, or it can be slant. If it is in block, I usually advise my students to write their letters in block. You put your address, number 10, Boulevard Street. You put a comma. Now remember, comma and full stop is very, very important in your writing. Number 10, Boulevard Street. Ibadan, Oyo State, comma, Nigeria. Full stop. The moment you finish writing an address, you do what? You put a full stop, or you call it a period. When you are writing your address, take note, it must be on a straight line, and then your date follows immediately. And then you put the date. Because an informal letter, you can put the date any way you want. You can do it like this, or you can do it like this, or you can do it like this. At the end of your date, put a period or a full stop. The moment you are done with that, you give a line in your note, you give a line, a space, and then go to the next page. Dear Shade. Because it's an informal letter, the way you rapport in your letter is like you are seeing the person, like there is a conversation. Hey, what's up? How you doing? How are you? You greet. How's the family? What have you been up to? The reason why you're writing the letter must be indicated. I am writing to inform you about our end of year valedictory service, or you call it party if you like. That's the reason. First paragraph. Second paragraph, details. Where is it going to happen? Who is coming? What is going to happen? Special appearances. Then the last paragraph, conclusion. You summarize everything and then a greeting. What is important? The last part, salutation, whatever you call it. Yours sincerely, yours truly. Remember, these must be in capital Y, these must be in capital S, comma. Comma is very important. Do not sign. It's an informal letter. You can use your nickname. Like my own, I can use my own nickname as Manny. Are you getting it? That's for informal letter. Now let's look at a formal letter. Address the same way. Straight. Make sure you don't mistake your comma. At the end of each address, it must have a full stop. 4th of June, comma, 2025, period or full stop. Then your recipient address. Recipient simply means who you are sending the letter to. Who are you addressing the letter? Now, in that letter, it must have a recipient, and that recipient must be to a particular person or to a particular position. Let's take, for instance, to a school, to a high school. You are not going to leave a space. Immediately you write this, the next line, you don't leave a space here in your note. The next line, you just write the principal. If it is a company, you can write the manager. If it is a school, the principal, comma, and then the school as Salam Academy. Are you seeing that? That's a school. Then you put another comma, the address of the school, Ibadan, or your state. At the end of your address, put a period or a full stop. Now, we are having two addresses in a formal letter. So that makes it different from informal letter. The next thing, you are going to leave one space in your note or two spaces. Then you write dear sir or dear mom. Then the reason, it must have a topic. Just like we have in the titles of essays, debates, and articles. Dear sir, application for a job of a teacher. Can you see that? Now, if you are writing in capital letter, you do not underline. But if you want to write in small letter, the first letter must be in capital letter. Like this. Let me show you. Application for the post of a teacher. Now you can underline. But if it is in capital letter, you do not underline. Now, you go straight to the point. You are not allowed to breathe in an informal letter. I hereby apply for a job in your school. You just go straight to the point. Immediately you're done with that. The second paragraph, details about yourself. Details about yourself. Last paragraph, conclusion. And then the way you end it is different from informal letter. Yours sincerely. The last part of our formal letter, yours sincerely. Make sure that you don't make the mistake of writing this in small letter. Capital Y, capital S. Then you sign. In formal letter, you sign. And then you put your full name. Like my name is Dr. Emmanuel Binitie. That is my full name. So that is how to write a formal letter. See you. Bye for now.